about healthcare and unions and, all this other crap is really going to matter too much, is it?
Oh, yeah. No. And it's funny. You remember that guy, it was a couple that used to appear on Coast to Coast with Art Bell many years ago. And they lived in Australia, and they would sell you a map of the safe zones in the United States. And so, me wanting to be safe, that was one of the reasons I moved to Utah and Idaho, and it was all safe. And then, damn it, not 2 years after I moved there, we get the West Yellowstone caldera that's going to kill me at any moment. So my options were this time move back to the New Madrid Fault, which could kill me, or wait for Yellowstone to explode and incinerate me. So, just, yeah.
Well, if Yellowstone blows, game over. There, we don't even need to talk about anything else. That supervolcano will change everything.
Oh, yeah.
In mountainsides flying, 2,000 miles away, and everything in the atmosphere being completely covered up by soot and crap, and it'll just be, hey, listen, there's a multitude of things that human beings are doing to themselves that cause these issues. There's a multitude of things that are way outside of our control that are much, much bigger. Oh, you making the Omega Wave over there? But yeah, there's lots of things that are a lot bigger than these issues that we're rolling around with right now. And I don't know that there's any real preparation for almost 6 billion people for when this shit happens.
No.
So that's why a lot of it will be forsaken at the gates. How do you like that segue?
That was good.
To be saved.
And like we discussed 2012 at one point. I found it hilarious. They're building arcs in the Himalayas, and only the Jehovah's Witnesses or somebody gets to go. It ain't us. We're gonna be here because it's all gonna go down really, really bad, evidently.
Yeah, well, it's no matter what you believe, something is going down, and our planet and the sun right now is raging with activity. So, these are facts. We have all our opinions on this show, but the fact is the sun is throwing out more crap than, probably ever by the time it's all said and done, or in our lifetime for sure. I mean, we're getting, nuked.
Oh, yeah.
More than anything.
And the sun's the one thing that scares the most out of me. Planet X, that's a possibility. The sun scares the shit out of me. And the more we know about it, the more I'm scared to death of it. Because if it goes, white worm, black hole, whatever the hell it is, it's game over, man. Fucking, there's nothing that's going to save us then. Not an ark in the world could be built to replace that son of a bitch.
Well, I just saw a comment over here. The sun is 1 billion years from fucking us over. Oh, no. The sun had done it every few thousand years as it is. History has been, started over again, and the majority of the human race has been knocked off in multiple times. It's not the only time it's going to happen. It's just the only time it's going to happen in our lifetime and in our generation. And yes, there will be a major problem. That could be the only thing that really starts all the other things. And when I think about any kind of natural catastrophe with the way the world is set up today, when you have nuclear power plants that need to be cooled, and you have many chemical labs that have to be constantly taken care of. If you ever, and I thought about this far before that life after people thing, but if you ever think about that, and just if there's one thing that does a major catastrophe to humanity, and no one's the caretaker of all the stupid shit we've done and the short-sightedness that we have, I feel like that's a horrible scar to leave upon our mother.
Oh yeah, that harkens back to something that Neil said, and at this point, we're not even going to get to play the interview right now because we got so much to go over, is that we are a relatively new race. Everything we have about us, we've been on this planet for how many years, and how much do we really know about what preceded us going back and further back? We talked about what was going on in Afghanistan last week, with the flying machine and all that.
Oh, yeah. Right over people's heads.
And as Sean brought up in the chat, one good flare and anything with a chip's done. We are so reliant on everything nowadays to run off of, computer chips. If we did get hit with an EMP from the sun, this society's fucked. We're back to the Stone Age overnight. My car won't run. Your car won't. We're fucked totally and have nothing to say about it. And you know what? We need guns, lawyers, guns, and money.
Tell me when we can run this interview. I want to hear some of this.
You know what?
Am I being difficult?
Yeah, you're being a little difficult, but that's...
Play.
We got a few... we got a few clips that we can play, but you know what? I want to clean it up a little bit more. It really deserves to get the full attention it deserves, to be very honest with you.
Play one question at least.
Yeah, you know what? I can play one question.
I think you're starting for good.
Listen, I was envious. I just got to tell you guys, I was envious that I couldn't be there to interview Neil myself, as being a huge fan of Clutch for all these years, and and his like I said, his stream of consciousness and the way that Neil Fallon writes is, I am forever in awe of how it just flows out of this man. He's a very, very brilliant individual, and I couldn't be there because the show was obviously in St. Louis. And my only real experience of being around Neil, I'm just going to say this real quick, was a couple years ago when Forbidden was in, we had a day off, and we were in Germany, we were in Cologne, and they had a show, and I found out about it, so I made Rock Hard Magazine, put me on the list, went down there, hung out, talked to Jean-Paul, got to talk to a couple guys in the band, but I didn't get to talk to Neil, but I remember looking up in the sky, and this has to do with this show in a way. I remember looking up the sky with Buddy Head, who was my tag, and Mark, and I said, wow, there seems to be a lot more chemtrails out here in Europe than there even are in the States. And Neil was doing an interview a couple benches over from me, and his head whipped around so fast, as soon as I said chemtrails, you would have thought, you would have thought I had a gun, and I just popped it off. So he's definitely aware.
Oh, yeah, Neil's very aware. But, his awareness and what he's passionate on, I found, are two very different things. His awareness and his passion, really, it was pretty cool that way. He was a fascinating guy to talk to. And just, you can look at my new profile picture on Facebook. I'm a big son of a bitch. I'm the first to admit it. And Neil looks like I'm about to eat him. I mean, he's just a little guy, but got the biggest goddamn voice on him.
That beard wouldn't taste too good.
No, that beard was I was envious. I was going to let my shit grow out, and then nobody can have that epic beard.
Burning beard.
Oh, and that's amazing. I can play the clip, but we're at 9 o'clock. It's up to you, man.
Oh, absolutely. I don't care what the audio sounds like. I want to hear a little bit. I'm a fan, and just everybody else is here is a fan, too. And I know, hey, listen, the fact that we may not run this whole interview right now doesn't mean it's not going to be up and streaming. You guys just got to do a couple things to clean it up. And, the show is new and still in its works, but it's getting cleaner and cleaner every week, people.
All right, let me look for... You know what? I think... What one did I write down? Yeah, let's... for this being an internet podcast... Our collective consciousness is more taken by the internet. But that's pretty coming off the internet. But, we really are a disease among ourselves.
All this technology, and it's brand new too. All this technology, I think it's us. It's easy for us to forget the whole scope of human history. How long we lived in caves, how long we lived in a feudal society, or had slavery, or had an agricultural or hunter-gatherer society. This went on for millennia and millennia and millennia, and it was really only 100 years ago that we started to fight. That was yesterday. The computers, you see what's going on with Watson on Jeopardy. The thing that not 60 years ago, a computer didn't exist in a that short period of time. for all intents and purposes, created an artificial intelligence. It's happening so quick, I doubt humanity's ability to...
So that's right. Craig can't hear it because of the way the phone and everything's set up. It'll be up and streaming. I apologize, Craig. Yeah, it'll get fixed. Trust me, when it's up and streaming, it will sound a whole... you know, one of the things that Neil said that really, with this being an internet...
He couldn't hear any of it?
No.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm a host. I'm not a listener. But we got to sort this out for the people.
Oh yeah, and it will be, and we'll have it this week. One of the things off my list is Neil says, and I think this is, we are poisoning our collective consciousness with the fucking internet. The internet has made us. It has allowed us to poison our own collective consciousness because of the internet. It is spawned charlatans and all kinds of shit out there. It's amazing.
Yes. No, I got to agree. I mean, here we are using the tool, but it's all, it's like anything else. It's how you use what you have. If you abuse anything, and and it could be said that we're abusing it because we're concentrating on things that aren't positive. But I completely disagree with that. I think the way that we're going to use this show, and I think that people's chiming in. I was just looking at some of the comments. Some things, of course, people are just talking. There's some really awesome stuff that's been said over there. You just don't be afraid to use that side of your brain. Don't abuse the other side of it. I think information can be detrimental to some folks because they don't really know how to use it. So if what we're paying attention to is Justin Bieber's haircut
and Paris Hilton's latest upskirt,
shutting yourself down, if what you're paying attention to is, trying to find out what's going on Al Jazeera and, up to the moment of, what's happening in the world with, Omar Gaddafi and everything. That's at least a little more productive. It might not be in your backyard, but it does matter because it affects you. Because anytime you throw a rock into the pool, the ripples will come back to you. So I think there is some good for the internet as well.
The butterfly effect.
There is a butterfly effect, absolutely.
There truly is. So next week, guys, coming up this week early, will be the interview with Neil Fallon from Clutch. That will be cleaned up. Like we said, it was me and Dean and my son were in a windstorm. I mean, they had us between the bar and a trailer, and it wasn't exactly easy.
And there was people talking all around us.
And then I got Mickey from Motorhead fucking with me behind my back the whole time. I got...
I gotta see this.
You know what? We didn't have... There's enough Bill on camera on a regular basis. We kept the camera trained on Neil, which is a good thing.
All right.
Yeah, but Mickey, who he was in King Diamond, correct?
Yes, he was. Mickey D is amazing. He's amazing. He was in King Diamond and had some of his most creative years on. I think he played on the first album, Fatal Portrait, Abigail, Them, and I'm not sure if he played on anything after that. But that's when I really stopped liking the King Diamond records. Again, just my opinion.
Well, did he play with Hank?
No.
Okay.
No, funny story, actually, and if Matt's listening, he'll love that I've said this. But when Matt met Hank Sherman for the first time, I played with in another band called Demonica, he said to Hank, dude, I love your work on Abigail. And then Hank, that's not me. Because Hank was in Merciful Fate. He was never in King Diamond. So that's a little off subject, but funny as hell to me.
Oh, yeah.
I still laughed about it. I don't know how much Hank was laughing about it, but I think he's a good sport.
Oh, yeah. So I guess we're going to wrap it up for this week. The Clutch interview will be up. Watch the Facebook page. It'll be announced. We're going to work on it and get it to par. It really deserves the justice that it got. We got Barney from Napalm Death next week. I just found out, and this is for the St. Louisans in the room tonight. Glenn Danzig's going to be here at Pops on May 25th, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to go out of my way